Okay, so this is my thought recently. I was sitting in bio thinking about this. I am paying for this education, right? And it's like this crazy expensive fucking thing that we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of people that like start asking questions or contributing their own opinions in my classes
All right.
that have nothing to do with what we're learning.
Oh yeah, of course not. No. Why would any person in a like public room that they're paying for have anything to say except their own opinions?
No, but this is the thing though. Like if you contribute naturally to the conversation or you're asking a question, totally don't have a problem with that. But when you start interjecting your own opinions and shit with
where it's like where like the class is talking about like creationism or something and someone's like, well, in the Bible, and then like they go off into their religious beliefs, like that kind of thing. It's like that's not where the conversation is meant to be had,
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's pissing me off.
Yeah,
but
I hate that kind of stuff.
Okay, so now I think we should introduce ourselves.
All right, that's probably a good idea.
Dude, should I go first?
I don't know. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, this is our untitled Fourthoughts podcast, and I don't know. It's not untitled. We're just in the middle of a title.
It's a working title. It's a working title.
Yeah, working title. I don't fucking know. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Mike.
And so I think, all right, we should start off with what we're trying to do with our channel because
definitely.
I think I'm trying to. I don't know how to necessarily phrase this, but I'm trying to put out videos that are an unconventional view of interesting things, sort of. I don't know how to phrase it.
No, that makes sense. No, honestly. Well, talk about like some of your ideas for videos. Not like exactly breaking them down, but say like,
Well, like, I don't know. Because, all right, first off, I'm a huge Kanye fan. Like, huge. Like, Will.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, like Will from SourceFed ain't got shit on my Kanye knowledge. But that being said, like everybody thinks Kanye is like such a douchebag or whatever. Yeah. And like one of the videos I wanted to do was just like talking about how he's like totally not a douchebag and was like really cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That took a pretty good.
I don't know. And that's not like what I wanted to do actually, but like
yeah, it's the Kanye fanboy.
No. But I want to do like other stuff. Like Casey Neistat is like a huge role model for me, but then like Kanye is too. So like, I don't know. I want to do something super creative. Like
I was about to say that you're inspired by these people who are like considered very unique and creative within their respective fields, and you want to kind of be not at the same level as them, of course not, but exude the same creativity that they do in a way.
Yeah. Well, I just want to like inject my ideas into their creativity basically. So I personally want to like I was talking to you about that video that I wanted to do where it was like
the gym one. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not the gym one. The one about what makes a great man.
Oh right, yes.
And like I have all these ideas about it because I've gone through like life experiences this way, and I know we're both young guys, but we still have had these massive life experiences that have affected us in such a way, but like I want to like inject that into a video basically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What about you?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Oh, all right. So hello internet. I'm Mike. I'm just kind of a loser who's really into comic books, superheroes, movies, television, writing. I'm currently a graphic design student, and most of the videos I'm going to put out on this channel are going to be probably film or creatively based. I do want to do kind of the same stuff as Jordan in terms of like making videos that are more philosophical in like what makes a great man or ideals like that. But I also want to do videos that are talking and discussing things that are kind of pop culture or media, mainly superheroes though. I love superheroes.
And we both do, and we'll talk about that later. But I feel like honestly we should both be in like philosophy majors. Like we're both
it's like if I didn't have art, like I'd probably just be like an English teacher, which is probably really close to being a public philosopher.
Yeah, but like I'm in business finance, but like honestly I have all these like philosophical ideas and like creative things that I want to be doing, but like I don't know, it's like totally not my major.
Well, no, what's funny is that when we're in public and like one of us will stop each other and be like, yo, let me tell you something real quick. Like, do we even exist? And like people look at us and we're like, what are they talking about? And it's like, all right, well, we're crazy people in public, so why don't we talk about this over microphones in a dark room?
Exactly. And that's the only logical step forward, right?
Yes, of course.
Well, that's what we were talking about the other night. Like I don't know. I don't even fucking know what kind of tangent we were on the other night, but it was like along the lines of like, what is our government hiding from us, and like what exists
Yeah.
outside of ourselves. Like it was like this super deep philosophical conversation, but it was
The
so.
podcast that never will be seen.
I
Never.
really wish we recorded that.
Yeah.
And we got together like a couple nights in a row to record that same podcast, and like we had these super in-depth conversations,
So
and
funny.
we didn't fucking
So
record them.
funny.
I know.
Like it was so funny because like I brought over my microphone, my filming stuff, and I was like, all right, let's do this, let's get set. And then the Republican debate was on, and your dad was coming in, he was being crazy, and like we just never did it. But then like right after that, we were just getting into like, yo, like, do you think the government knows that we're having this conversation right now? Like,
But we started off like talking about the Batman v Superman trailer or something.
oh
and,
yeah,
and then we just
yeah,
went
we
on
were
this
talking about that,
huge
and then it
tangent.
was yeah.
But another thing I wanted to talk about, we're switching topics like crazy, right quick, but
Right
we'll
quick.
eventually work into a flow. I want to talk about the Suicide Squad trailer.
All right, okay, as the comic aficionado here, let me just start by saying I was watching, okay, I was with my lady friend, and I said, oh my gosh, new Suicide Squad trailer. And her father is really excited for it. So she was like, oh, okay, I'll watch it too. You know, she reads comics, but isn't really into the superhero thing.
Yeah.
But she said she had never seen me smile like that before. I think it was a combination of 5-year-old Mike and present day Mike meeting one another and forming a union over their admiration and love for the visuals and the characters and all the lines that were being presented in that trailer, alongside my favorite song of all time. So
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that song really quick. I was at the gym and I listened to my gym. It's not a playlist. I just listen to every one of my songs on my iPod.
yeah.
And it was cycling through, and that song hit. And now every time I listen to that song, I cannot think about anything but that trailer.
Well, it's almost like I mean, everyone's comparing it to the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer,
Yeah.
but with the song "Hooked on a Feeling," which was widely less popular than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
You can't hear that song and not think like, oh yeah, Star-Lord. Oh yeah.
I was
Like,
so shocked though that they bought the rights to Bohemian Rhapsody. Like that must have been so much money for them. That must
oh
have
yeah,
been
but it's not. You got to remember, it's not DC Comics who's putting out this movie. It's Warner Brothers. And
Yeah,
Warner
true.
Brothers is a conglomerate who can pretty much get any kind of song they want for any movie they want. You know?
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, my thoughts on the trailer. Completely awesome. I'm really liking
Oh, it was mind blowing.
I'm really liking
Awesome.
Harley Quinn's vibes in this one.
Oh wait, hold up. So Jordan and I had a bet that we're gonna figure out in August, just before we start talking about Suicide Squad. He thinks that Deadshot is gonna be cracking jokes the whole movie, and I said that Harley Quinn is going to be the comedic relief of the film. But I think from this trailer, I have a slight edge in this argument.
Okay, no. This is what I said. I said that Harley Quinn.
But don't change it. I have it written
No,
down.
I know.
Boy.
But
Don't
listen.
change it now.
Okay, this was my original thing. Was that Deadshot would be a sort of comic relief, and Harley Quinn would be like a side comic relief. Because I never said that she wasn't gonna be any type of comic relief.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I agree that she is. Like, she totally is. But I still think that they're gonna force Will Smith into this weird, awkward, like comic relief type thing where he just makes jokes at the expense of Killer Croc the whole movie.
Well, I feel like someone's gonna have to. Someone will have to make a joke at Killer Croc, whether it's Deadshot or anybody else. But
Well-
I don't think Deadshot's gonna be the lighthearted. I think you'll have some dark, funny lines, like I mean, with the like with the comment about like the cheerleading tryouts or whatever. Like you'll have some funny lines, but I don't think he will be the lead comic relief. Because like I've read Suicide Squad comics and Secret Six, which is a very big Deadshot oriented comic. He is kind of the comic relief, kind of like cool like cowboy essentially of the team.
Yeah.
And he is very funny. He's absolutely hilarious in that. But Will Smith's Deadshot is not comic Deadshot. So I have a feeling that he'll be a more serious toned character versus the lighthearted comic version.
Well, what it looked like in the trailer was what the frig is that guy's the Boomerang
Oh,
guy,
Captain Boomerang was
Captain
so
Boomerang.
cool.
They
So cool.
they put him up as like the comic relief. He was like sipping a beer and stuff. That was him, right?
Yeah, that's Jai Courtney as Captain
Yeah,
Boomerang.
they made him look like the comic relief.
Which
And it
is great because hold up, like Deadshot is a character who I could take a little more seriously. Like he's like in the realm of comic book stuff. It's
yeah.
like, all right, I can believe that. Captain Boomerang is literally just like an Aussie dude who just throws boomerangs. It's like so cliche. It's like the fact that they're like making him a like a joke of a character is like perfect. Like they couldn't have tried to make that guy serious.
Okay, and now speaking of jokes, the only bad thing about this trailer for me was the Joker.
Really?
I couldn't say, like, I think this movie is gonna end up being a Joker movie, which I don't want at all because like they're taking such a leap with Suicide Squad. It's similar to Marvel with Deadpool. They're taking such a leap that I don't want them to throw it away and make it a Joker movie. I want them to make it a Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, well, hold up. This is my theory. I thought that we saw a lot more of the Joker in that than necessarily I thought we would have. Like, I didn't expect him to be that big of a significant character in the film. I thought he was going to be important, but not like that important. Like, he had several action scenes in that trailer. So, based on that, I think that they're probably just going to utilize him for certain elements of it because what all the press have said is that he's a member of the squad, but not really. So, my prediction is that he's going to be used at some point for the team's advantage, but then he'll have his own agenda. Therefore,
Well,
they'll have to take him down again.
that's
But
what I'm worried about
yeah,
because
but like, who's that guy in the train, man? Like, okay, like,
well, they're theorizing that that's Common's character.
oh, Tattoo Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But this was my theory. Once I saw that, was I feel like they're gonna make Joker the primary villain, and it's gonna be like really messed up. Like he's gonna help them at the beginning, but then like they're gonna realize that he's a crazy person and is going off to do his own thing. But like they're trying to throw you off with Tattoo Man and Enchantress being villains.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think it's totally not like that. I think it's Joker's gonna be the villain.
I think this is a safe bet that he'll probably like based on the trailer. Like I wasn't expecting him to be that big of a villain for the film, but I feel like he will be. I feel like once he goes like solo essentially and gets his henchmen back or whatever in his helicopter or his tuxedo or whatever, he'll have a very significant villain-esque or antagonist role to the film.
I don't know. I
If
just
not, actually, here's a good prediction. I feel like Tattoo Man or whoever it was in the subway, they will be the antagonist of the film. But I feel like Joker, much as he is in the comics, as a force of nature, will be kind of like a tornado that kind of rolls through the plot line that they're going to have to deal with. That's what I feel like he'll be.
that's not a bad view because I just
Because he doesn't have a plot. Like in the Batman movies, it's like Joker's like this, like, or at least in the Dark Knight films, he's like a terrorist or whatever, and like has a scheme like kind of based around it. Right? He has an idea. He has like a plan or an agenda.
Yeah.
Like in this, he's pretty much, from what we know, he's in prison at the time, so he probably doesn't have a plan set up. Like as he gets out, he's probably just going out and like causing havoc.
yeah.
I don't think he'll have that big of an agenda to consider him an antagonist of the film.
I just am worried about like they're putting this giant character in with a bunch of small characters basically. Like I feel like they're overusing Joker so that people go to see the movie.
Well, they need that. That's why they casted Jared Leto, who is, I believe, an Oscar at least nominated, possible winner,
Yeah.
and a famous musician, in a huge character role that, of course, was going to cause a controversy. But that's why they have him in the film. They need at least one recognizable character besides Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but you still have Harley Quinn, who is Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
And then you have Deadshot, which is Will Smith. Like
That doesn't. Okay, Focus didn't make that much money. Just
No,
because
no,
it has
no, no,
those
no.
two people in it doesn't mean it's going to
I'm
be a good
not,
film.
no. I'm not talking about Focus. But I'm saying you have these two recognizable actors in a superhero movie. So
Yeah, true. Very true.
and like Kick-Ass did very well in theaters. And so you have almost like a Kick-Ass vibe, but with higher paid actors
Celebrities, yeah.
and actresses. And like that should stand by itself. Maybe you cast Jared Leto in a Batman movie further down, or maybe a Justice League movie further down, but I just don't want him to take away from this movie.
I got that. Yeah. No, well, I think he probably will. I feel like he will steal a lot of scenes and a lot of screen time from a lot of other characters. But utilizing him, like he's clearly not part of the team,
Yeah.
right? Which, of course, the movie is Suicide Squad. It's going to focus on the squad itself.
Hmm.
I feel like not having him be a member of the team will allow them to focus on the other character's perspective more than his, which will be good.
Yeah. I don't know. I
All right,
think
but hold up. Let's just get back to real quick. That trailer was amazing. Let's not talk about
it
like the negatives of like
it
who's what
was.
character is gonna be what. That trailer was amazing. I honestly I've watched it at least 18 times since it debuted.
I think it's the best superhero trailer we've seen.
I might argue trailer. I mean, Mad Max was pretty good for me in terms of like hyping a film up, but this trailer got me so amped. I
It
was on the verge of tears.
Well, that's interesting because I was totally not invested in this movie at all. And
Yeah.
then as soon as I saw this trailer, I was totally sold. So honestly, it probably was the best trailer that we've seen this year. Because, well, not necessarily this year, but like the
In a
past,
long time. Yeah, yeah.
whatever, past couple months because we're only a month into this year.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, wow,
But
2016 is going to be so hyped with trailers.
well, because Civil War's trailer, I really enjoyed because I was like almost in tears by the end of it.
Oh, the line, like the final line or whatever. Yeah.
Well, the line with like "I was your friend too," like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he's my friend.
yeah,
Steve, so was I.
yeah, it drew tears. And then you had the Batman v Superman trailer, the original trailer.
Yeah, the first one, not the second one.
Before
not the Doomsday trailer.
before they blew their load and showed Doomsday.
Yeah.
The first one where he was standing in the armor and he was like, "Do you bleed?" That was the coolest
Do you
line
have car
ever.
insurance?
All right, but honestly, probably the best trailer that we're gonna see.
Honestly, hands down, like, I mean, I was excited for Doctor Strange. I was excited for Batman v Superman, Civil War, Deadpool. Deadpool still looks awesome too.
Yeah.
But I think Suicide Squad is going to be just as big or more of a hit than Guardians of the Galaxy was for Marvel. I feel like this is going to hit the ball out of the park for DC. I honestly think it will. If Batman v Superman fails in terms of hitting what the fans want and what the critics want,
Yeah.
I feel like Suicide Squad is going to be the almost like secondary life support for the DC cinematic universe. Because if Batman v Superman was a failure, they couldn't expand it. They couldn't keep going after the first failure in the franchise.
Yeah.
But if they have this backup net to catch the franchise, or the universe, I should say, it allows them to pretty much ensure that they'll have a future as a company and moneymakers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I agree, but I don't know. I'm nervous for it, but I do have a like reinstilled faith in the franchise. But on the same token, Marvel has Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool is getting like basically like an X rating from people who have seen the movie. Because
Yeah, yeah.
Did
For
you
the
see-
advanced screenings that they just released.
Well, did you see they did an advanced screening with Vsauce 1, 2, and 3?
I didn't know that. Well, I saw a lot of people were involved. I saw that there were two screenings, one in New York and one in California, and that the California one they showed the end credit scene as well, but in New York they did not. But I knew there was a lot of press and a lot of YouTube and internet celebrities and personalities, I should say, not celebrities, there that were covering the film, I should say.
Well, it was because originally Vsauce 1 and 3 were in LA and they had Stan Lee and I believe I forget who else they had. But
Yeah.
Stan Lee was at that one, and then they had Vsauce 2 in New York with like a whole different set of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they did advanced showings there. But apparently it's like super R, like super like almost X-rated.
Yeah, which is awesome though. Which is honestly the best move they could do with the character.
This is okay. It makes me nervous though because that's always what I've
a potty
wanted.
mouth. It's like a potty mouth. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's always what I've wanted to see. I've always wanted to see a rated R superhero movie. Like I want to know how like Batman breaking someone's neck or something like really violent, like really aggressive shit.
Mhm.
But I just don't want them to make like dick jokes and just be like a fourth grader with a potty mouth. Like I really hope they weren't like trying too hard to get that R rating.
I agree. Hold up. I agree with you on a lot of levels because having watched both the clean and the red band trailers for the film,
Mhm.
the red band trailers have like I've honestly preferred the jokes in the clean version.
Yeah.
I've thought they when it comes to like making jokes, I always feel that taking a cleaner route is typically the funnier route. I feel
Yeah.
like, I mean, like Louis C.K. and people, like there are some dirty comedians that are absolutely hilarious.
Hmm.
But with when I think it comes to writing for a film or any type of screenplay or anything like that, when the joke is solely the curse word or the foul mouthness of the character that's presenting it,
Yeah.
I feel like the joke just falls flat. But with like the clean trailers, everything seemed witty, it seemed fun, it seemed like intelligent. But then when you throw in like, oh, F word here, butthole, it's like, okay, I get it. Like I see what you're trying to go for now.
Well,
I
did
feel
you
like it
see?
almost I feel like it's almost making it I'm thinking of that's not the right word. But anyways, I feel like it just kind of degrades it in terms of maturity when they use the cursing as a advertisement to the film. You know?
Well, one of the first trailers, I don't know if it was the first trailer, but one of the first ones that came out for Deadpool, there was a red and green band trailer, and I watched
Yeah,
the green band one, and it was like really cool, and I was like super invested. I was like, wow, this is gonna be a cool movie. But then I watched the red band trailer,
yeah,
and the only curse words that were in the trailer were him making fun of Deadpool's face. That the side guys just making fun of Deadpool's face, like,
yeah,
oh, your
yeah,
face
yeah,
looks like balls, like.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, why would they like waste curse words other than to just get that R rating? But I feel like the team working on it is like super invested in it because like
Yeah, definitely.
because of like they've had like test screenings of this movie like way back, and I don't know. I feel like they're invested enough to not make it a completely shitty movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like, and plus a lot is hanging on it because I mean, I don't believe Bryan Singer is returning for any of the further X-Men installments, and I feel like Apocalypse might be the end of the main X-Men franchise. I mean, they have like X-Force lined up and
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff, or like a Gambit movie or whatever. But
and
with
Inhumans too, right?
no, Inhumans is Marvel. Inhumans
Oh,
is Inhumans is going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe's equivalent to the X-Men,
oh,
supposedly.
gotcha.
But with like the X-Men franchise, I feel like they need Deadpool almost kind of like the same regards to Suicide Squad in the fact that they need it as kind of a safety net for their franchises. Because I have total faith in Apocalypse. I think it'll be a very fun and good installment to the X-Men franchise.
Mhm.
But if that is the end for the main X-Men tagline, then I feel like Deadpool is going to be what introduces the further expanding universe. Because X-Men Origins Wolverine totally flopped with that. It was
Yeah,
such a flop.
I liked that movie.
Don't start with that movie, okay? That movie
I
is terrible. The only good parts of that movie are the scenes where Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and then they shut his mouth.
I don't agree. I like that movie. Like, okay, so
It was cool in concept,
yeah.
but terrible in execution. That's what I'll say.
I mean, okay, you're not wrong. I'm a little biased though because I got an advanced screening of that movie that I've never showed you before, but you seriously need to see it. Um, it's it's like before they added all the special effects and stuff. It was
Yeah, yeah.
so cool, like to
Really?
see. Yeah, it's really cool. Like it's all like shots of Hugh Jackman, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he'll like put his fist up, like you know when he cuts the helicopter blades or whatever in that movie.
Yeah.
Like he puts his fist up, but there's nothing there, and it's basically like claws grow here, like insert
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
effect.
yeah. I've seen those kind of like cuts online, but I've never seen like a whole film like that.
It's so cool, but I guess I'm a little biased in that way. But also, the first shot of that movie, where well, not the first shot, but like one of the first shots of that movie, where it goes through. I forget who I heard say this, but where it goes through like all of time with them in like all different wars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking
That
about?
was a
That
great shot. That shot is awesome.
it is so cool. It's
The opening scene of
really
that
cool.
movie is very well done. I
Yeah.
will agree with that.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. And like I feel like they should have gone forward. Like they should have made like other Origins movies. Then that one kind of would have
Yeah.
fell
Well, the
into
thing was,
place.
that one flopped very hard at the box office and with critics, and people were very, very upset with that film. And they took the plot points that were going to be in the Origins Magneto film, and they put that into the X-Men First Class film,
Yeah.
which are the best scenes in X-Men First Class are Magneto's scenes in like in his past.
Well, could you
So I
imagine a
just
whole
want to say
movie
that.
with just Magneto?
Well, that was what I'm saying. Like that movie could have been awesome, but the problem was that X-Men. This is my entire point. Watch this, audience. I'm about to serve everybody. So with X-Men Origins Wolverine, it totally ruined the idea of having a franchise of extending the universe past the X-Men franchise. So they pretty much cut any plans for like Cable or X-Force or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They cut the plans for that because that movie was such a terrible installation of the franchise. But when it came to X-Men Origins and the Magneto stuff, they pretty much took the plot of what would have been the next furthering of the universe movie installment, and they put it into an X-Men franchise, which is essentially like if the Suicide Squad movies and Deadpool movies flop, I feel like any other movie will just get cropped into, or any other plot line will just get cropped into a different movie franchise in that universe.
I hate that we need to deal with movie studios doing this kind of shit. Like, oh my God. Like, it's fucking... There's like... We just need to deal with them just throwing something away that could have been good. Like, take, for example, Constantine. Everybody...
No, take, for example...
What?
Oh, wait, here. You make your point. Make your point. I had a good point, too.
I was saying, like, take, for example, Constantine on... It was like a TV show. Like,
yeah. NBC.
Yeah.
NBC.
Like, everybody loved Constantine in Arrow and Flash, in the whatever Arrow Flash. That was my phone. Sorry. In like the Arrow Flash crossover episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they canceled the show because they were like, oh, the ratings aren't doing that well. But if they stuck it out through Arrow and Flash, now Constantine would have a huge audience because people would be like, oh shit, like this is actually a really cool character. Maybe I should go over and check that show out.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like, you have to remember, like, studios aren't in this for making, like, well, I mean, they are into making quality films, but they're not into, like, movie studios aren't made for the prospect of making art. They're there for making money and providing money for directors and screenwriters to make their films. That's literally all that the companies are for. But because their monies, I am an idiot. Because their money is fueling the projects. Yeah. They have so much control over everything because it's like, well, that was my $2 million that you spent on that actor. So, I mean, I think I have the right to say that, that kind of deal.
Which is total bullshit because, like, then you end up losing Edgar Wright for Ant-Man because Marvel was just too pissy about keeping it in this order and it's got to be this type of movie and it can't have this and it can have this. But, like, you lose so much on these bullshit studios that do this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay.
I do too. Wait, hold up. Yeah. I was about to transition too. I was about to say, the one thing I can always count on superhero films for is making me want to get into the gym, because in the Suicide Squad trailer, there's a shot of Will Smith hitting the heavy bag, and all I could think of was like, oh man, I gotta get my gloves again. Jordan, where are we going to the gym again? Because like, for those of you who are listening, Jordan and I use the heavy bag when we go to the gym, when we frequent the YMCA.
Okay, I think you should explain what the heavy bag is for people that don't know.
The heavy bag is a big bag of sand that hangs from strings, and you hit it.
Okay, it's like punching bag. Like people commonly call it a punching bag, but we call it a heavy bag. Whatever.
Because we're professionals, but if people were looking at us right now, they'd be like, "What are these guys talking about?" But,
yeah, I'm currently flexing.
Yeah, but no, like when I saw that, like especially Thor, like I've told this story before. Like every time I see like a trailer like that, like when Will Smith's hitting the punching bag, I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta hit the gym." Or like when I watched Thor, I saw Thor in my basement one time, and I was like, "I'm gonna go grab my heavyweights or my dumbbells," because like I gotta like. Oh man, it's just like for men and their self-esteem, like superhero movies just make me want to get jacked. It's like every time I see it, and I mean, like I'm in pretty good shape, but like every time I see these characters, I'm like, man, I think how do they have that many abdominal muscles? That is impossible.
First of all, it's totally not real, like everything they have. But second of all, I feel like it's either the pairing of like the attitude, like so for like trailers and stuff, like you have like this crazy cool music behind it and like this guy who gets all the girls and has all these superpowers or whatever, but then like it's also like
in my dreams,
but it's also like atmosphere. Like Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow, when he's doing like the salmon ladder and shit and like everybody's like oogling over him, it's like fuck, like I have to go to the gym and like run 10 miles or something. Like I don't know what to do. But
Yeah.
That being said, there's like a lot of strain, the extra strain that we put on ourselves that we really shouldn't be, because like realistically, we're pretty fit, I would like to think, and we I don't know, we go too far, I think, with pushing ourselves.
With trying to get to a certain point. Like we put too much
Yeah.
pressure on ourselves to reach a certain agenda at the gym or in
Yeah.
our fitness levels. Whether
Well,
it be
yeah,
weight or how far we can run. Yeah, I agree.
but it's also like I hate taking rest days for that reason, and I
Yeah.
actually ran into your dad at the gym.
Oh yeah, 'cause my it's like he's always there.
Yeah, but I was like, I was talking to him about it, and I was like, I literally was forced into a rest day because of we just had this fucking huge blizzard or whatever. But
Yeah.
I was forced to have a rest day, and I was like, I felt so fat. I was like, oh my god, I'm like so horrible. But realistically, I went to the gym, weighed the same, and could lift even more because I got Fourthoughts 8 200.
On Ooh, bench press.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
I'm hashtag jacked.
And people are like, I love how like there are two reactions you'll get when you tell someone how much you can lift. It's either yeah, I bench press 200. It's like wow, that's impressive. Like one set, and you're like nah, 4 sets, and you're like wow, that's like pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get oh, that was like me like 2 years ago, kid. It's like
Well,
it's
that's
like thanks,
just,
bodybuilder at the gym.
that's just like the internet in general, because you get the common consensus where it's like, oh, like you're such a pussy, like I can't believe like you lift that little, like whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then you get the people that are like, wow, like I'll never lift that my entire life.
Mhm.
I don't know. But okay, so what's our next topic here?
Oh, you put me on the spot here.
Okay. Well, this is podcast life, Mike. You need to be ready to have podcast ideas.
Currently, I'm looking up superhero movie theories, but
Okay, hold on.
yeah, that's why I was
This-
like, I don't want to talk about superheroes anymore.
all right, we have an interesting topic right now. That okay, I mean it's not
What to
that
talk about
interesting.
on a podcast?
Yeah. Interesting topic that I was looking up the other day because I heard it on another podcast, and I was like, wow, this is an interesting idea, and I want to look this up. I looked up, and you can look up while I'm talking.
I'm right here.
I looked up what people share my birthday, and
that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Hashtag me and Beyonce, September 4th.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I've known that for years.
Okay.
That came out creepier than it should.
Yeah, that was but I looked this up the other day, and I share a birthday with Yoko Ono.
Oh my gosh, she's a talent.
Yeah. I share a birthday with Enzo Ferrari, the person who founded Ferrari.
Okay.
I share a birthday with John Travolta.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Who else did I share a birthday with? Oh, Dr. Dre. I share a birthday with Dre too. I was really praying that I would look it up and share a birthday with like Kanye. I was like praying to God, but I can't get anyone cool like that. I have Yoko Ono and John Travolta.
I only have Beyonce from what I can see right here. Wait, hold up. Oh wait, this is a whole list of September 4th birthdays. I have. Hold up. Get psyched. The same birthday as Jason David Frank, the green freaking Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's so lame. Okay, so the only real actual person you have is Beyonce.
No, Wes Bentley. Wes Bentley's on here too.
Who the hell's Wes Bentley?
Oh, you look him up. He's in everything. He's like a human husky. That's what he looks like.
A human husky? That's seriously.
Literally look at him. Literally look at the guy.
Okay, hold up. While I'm looking up Wes Bentley, another important date in my life. I got
September 4th, my birthday.
no. I got my braces off on Hitler's birthday.
420.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose birthday is 420.
Okay, so this bull is in a lot of shit, but I've never seen him in my life. He's in Ghost Rider, Interstellar, Hunger Games, American Beauty.
He's in so much stuff. He's like, if you don't know who he is, I guarantee you've seen at least him in one movie. He's in a bunch of movies.
He's in Jonah Hex.
Oh yeah, he is in that movie. I forgot about that.
How do you fucking know who this guy is?
Dude, I know all of these actors. I know everybody.
Background character. Oh, me and Anthony. Anthony, for our listeners, is this guy. He's like a trainer.
He's a trainer at the Y.
Yeah, at this gym we go to.
This
Um,
gym we go to. It's the YMCA.
whatever. It's not every fucking YMCA. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He's there at every YMCA. You go in and ask for Anthony, you will find him.
he we were talking about what the fuck. Oh, this is what we were talking about. We were talking about how we were both fucking really pissed off about when Ben Affleck got cast as Batman.
Okay, yeah.
I know we're tying back to superheroes, whatever.
It's all right.
We were talking about that, and I was like, well, like if you really like look into like the comics and look into the animated movie that they made, like he's actually like a really cool fit for it, and like
I've said that from the beginning. I've been behind Batfleck from the beginning, and I've gotten flack for that.
well,
Now everyone's on my side.
but it's like it just sparked an interesting discussion about what we think about in terms of people getting cast for different stuff.
Yeah.
Like, take for example, Focus. Everybody thought it was going to be this awesome fucking movie, and everybody was losing their minds because it was Margot Robbie, who's super
Will Smith,
hot,
yeah.
no acting ability, but she's super hot.
That's
And
not true. I wouldn't go that far.
No, it's not true. But
Claim.
Margot Robbie, and then you had Will Smith, who everybody fucking loves, like from everything. And we were like, wow, like this is gonna be a really cool movie. Shit reviews, like terrible. And then you get Batfleck, who everybody's hating on, and then the first trailer comes out, and he's like, "Do you bleed?" And then everybody loves him, and he's got like the pensive stare in the trailer or whatever, and everybody loves him. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, I agree. And it's actually pretty interesting when you think about it. Like, when people think about like characters or like certain roles, this could be in a fictional regard or in a real life role. Like, you think of certain images or certain like features that you associate with that. So it's like if you're thinking of like a badass kind of person, you're like, oh, he's got to be like 6'5", he's got to be like 4 feet wide, that kind of stuff. Like he's got to be like this massive hulking guy.
Yeah.
Then in like reality, it's like anybody can be that way. Anybody can be that way. Hashtag look up for the video when I'm going to post that. But like anybody can be a badass, and like it's all about like your attitude and stuff like that. And people always think more about the physical aspect of that kind of nature more than the I should say the appearance of that nature rather than the physicality of that nature.
Well, that gets into the topic of the video that I was talking about at the very beginning of the podcast, but it gets into, I don't know, like common perceptions of like what makes a great man, which is my video, but it's just like for certain roles, like people talk about like a great man, but what makes a great man? Like in cave times, great men were people that could make a fire, but like what is a great man now? Like a guy on Wall Street who's making millions of dollars, or like somebody that's cutting down trees in Wisconsin? Like it's really in the eye of the beholder, I think. Like,
oh
it's
yeah,
really
of course.
subjective.
Well, yeah, it is subjective, but like that's what I'm saying with like when you like with your conversation with Anthony about Batfleck or whatever, when you're like, oh yeah, like I don't think he looks the part or like that kind of stuff, and then how you said, oh well, if you actually look into it, he kind of does fit that like a personality, I should say. Like people probably like perfect example when people look at you and me, like it was almost like that thing we were talking about with taking a survey out in public.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the two of us, which of us do you think would be more of a badass? And then it's like, well, you're thinking that based on appearance only. Like you don't know how I talk. Like you like other factors of that, like how I actually like treat other people. Like you're gonna think differently about that like choice that you made with knowing the deeper context further than how I look.
Well, yeah. Like I always think about that when I go to the gym. Like at the gym, I look like I'm like a total psychopath. Like I'm gritting and like I look pissed off all the time and like whatever. And people looking at me form opinions based on that. But then if they started talking to me, you'd be like, oh, like this guy's like a comic book nerd, or he's like whatever. He's just he's just a total dork. Like he plays video games all the time. But when I'm benching 200 and gritting my teeth when I get off the bench, like people are like, oh, this guy's obviously like an athlete or whatever. But then you look at you versus me and it's like you have a beard, and like people just commonly associate that with more of a man. So you kind of shift like, oh, like, well, the survey we were talking about where it's like, who do you think would lift more? Like you look at you and like you have a beard and stuff. So people would just,
that's not like, the beard isn't the only reason
no, it's not. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of like just what people think, like immediately. Like if you just showed like a headshot basically of both of us, it would be like, oh, probably this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But like then you go further, and it's like it's dependent upon body type. Oh, by the way, have you ever watched the YouTube channel Bro Science?
Yes, of course.
He is goddamn hilarious, and I
Yeah.
was like dying at all of his videos. But I was thinking he actually has a very similar body type to my own because he is like jacked. Like the guy could probably bench like 315, but his arms like don't show it because
Mhm.
he's a certain body type. Like your arms totally show what you can lift and whatever. But like me and Steve, for example, like we have body types that are basically built to be fat. So like our body types are like terrible for showing that, at least. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I definitely feel for that. It's like how you were like, it's like when I showed you that picture of my dad back when he was like our age, and you were like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like you guys literally have like the same exact body, and it's like
Yeah.
built to be lean and like defined and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like exact same point.
Mhm.
Like when you see certain people where it's like, oh, that guy has the same body type as me, so like that's pretty much how I'm like predetermined. Almost not predetermined, but like if I
Yeah.
were to apply certain things, like oh, like if you see that guy, like or it's almost like when you're like, Mike, your body was like designed with a six pack, like it came with
Mhm.
me, like I
Yeah.
didn't, like I wasn't given it, or I didn't earn it.
Yeah. But at the same time, like it is like you have to put in minimal exercise. Like we're not saying that like you can go out have this certain body type and be jacked. Like you're
It's like
six.
I saw an ad on an illegal streaming website that was like I was reading the things out loud to my friends while we were laughing at them,
Yeah.
and it was like Russian girls looking for quality men in your area. It's like what? But like one of them was like the funny one was like it was like 5 week steps you can take to lose weight fast, no exercise required. And
That
it showed
hold
like a
on.
huge guy and then like a guy who was like clearly like an Iron Man athlete, and I was
That
like what?
that bothers me so much.
You know
And
what bothers me is people are probably believing it. People are being
people
fed
totally
this.
are believing it. People,
Yeah.
because people still do Jenny Craig. People still do Weight Watchers. My philosophy is you can't out eat a bad exercise regimen, and you
Of
can't
course
out
not. Yeah.
exercise a bad diet.
Yeah, of course. You need it's a balancing act between the two. You have to juggle the exercise you're putting in with nutritional food that's actually going to benefit what kind of agenda you're going for, or what kind of end goal you're trying to meet.
Yeah.
And like without trying to like even out the two, if you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to the gym, but then you're going home and eating a cake right afterwards, you're not going to get anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
it's not about one or the other. It's about unifying both and making it equal in your life.
Well, it's also like so you have a six pack that's like there, but like you wouldn't have it if you just never exercise. It's just you do
Oh, yeah, of
enough
course not, yeah.
exercise and you perform enough so that you can keep that. And
Yeah.
like you like there could be someone with your exact same body type that if they just fucking sit on the couch all the time, like I'm a perfect example. Like I could have I have this body type, but I could look how like some of our friends look, like Steve. Like if I looked like him, I could look like that. But at the same time, like I could also be like the 260 pounds that I used to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, very true. Very true.
I don't know. It's an interesting topic.
It is a very interesting topic.
Okay, so all right. So do we want to get into? We only have a little bit of time left in this one, and then we can get into.
We can keep filming. Yeah, we can keep filming for the night. But
Yeah.
it'll be 2 videos for those listening.
Yeah. So
Get pumped, audience, if you're even enjoying this.
spoiler. Yes. Spoilers. Well, I think next couple ones we'll have like more planned out so that we're ready for different topics and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
But
of course.
for like the future or whatever, I don't know. I was gonna say though, do we want to get into the conversation of what we were talking about the other night about like the aliens and stuff?
Hold up. Can we save that for the next one? So, because we can have like a whole debate on that one. Because like if we don't have much time in this one, we should just talk about something else for now. But then like in 5 minutes when we film the next one, we got to go ham on that.
Okay.
I
All
think we're
right.
so in depth on that conversation.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to, we can wrap this one up and then get into the second one.
All right, cool. So sorry if anyone's listening to this and actually is disappointed to hear that. We're gonna end this one, I guess.
Well, we're uploading like a bunch at the same time, so they'll be able
Yeah,
to go to
sure.
the next one. We'll put a link in somewhere. If I don't forget,
Yeah.
we'll put a link in.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Well, thanks guys for listening. I cut you off. You were gonna do this.
But
I
yeah,
cut you off.
go for it.
All right. You opened. I got to end it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. This has been the Fourthoughts podcast. If you liked it, give it a like or a subscribe, or at least tell someone about this. Tell someone in your life that you listen to a podcast for at least 40 minutes, however long this has been, and you wasted that much time listening to two people you don't know speak. But thanks again, guys, for checking in. This is the Fourthoughts podcast. I'm Mike Pickard.
I'm Jordan DeGiacomo.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Thanks for listening.
All right, peace.